Which Bible do Russian Christians use? Just like in the English-speaking world, there are lots of Russian translations of the Bible. Some are made by the Church and for the Church, some by secular scholars who try to embrace as many sources as possible in order to grasp the original meanings of the words. However, there are only 3 translations most actively used in the Russian-speaking churches, and one of them dominates. If you watched my video about old believers who split from the Orthodox Church in the 17th century, you may remember that they reject anything related to the Niconian Church, as they call it, including the translations of the Bible that were made after the schism. They still use the Old Church Slavonic Bible published by the first Russian printer Ivan Fyodorov in 1581. Most communities nowadays, however, use the modernized version of 1914 made by the Moscow Old Believers printing house. Just like Old Believers, the mainline Russian Orthodox Church in her liturgy uses the Old Church Slavonic text as inspired by the Holy Spirit. There is an ongoing debate about converting the liturgy to the modern Russian language, as it has been made in most of Orthodox churches in other languages worldwide, but the church leadership is not likely to give up anytime soon. The Old Church Slavonic is hard to understand for a modern Russian speaker without a special training. Linguistically, it is closer to Bulgarian than to the modern Russian. Unlike the Old Believers, though, the Russian Orthodox Church uses a different version of the Old Church Slavonic Bible, the so-called Elizabeth Bible, named after the Empress Elizabeth I, daughter of Peter the Great, who sanctioned the continuation of the translation that began under her father's rule. The initial edition had a dedication to her. The most popular translation of the Bible, actively used by the vast majority of Russian-speaking Christians worldwide, is the Synodal translation. Although using the Old Church Slavonic for the liturgy, the Russian Orthodox Church uses the Synodal translation for all other purposes: education, home study, public preaching, and so on. This translation was made in the 19th century when a group of religious scholars convinced the Emperor Alexander I to authorize a translation of the Bible to the modern Russian language so that anyone could read and understand it. Alexander's successor, Nicholas I, banned the translation and ordered the printed copies burned. However, his successor, Alexander II, resumed the translation and eventually it was completed. The translation was made by the Russian Bible Society, founded under the example of the English Bible Society. The society was formally non-denominational and neutral, but in reality the translation was mostly made by Orthodox scholars and clerics and even used the Old Church Slavonic text as one of the main sources. However, the Synodal translation became a great success. It is written in a rhythmic and poetic manner, and it had significantly enriched the modern Russian language with expressions, many of which are not even attributed to the Bible anymore. The Synodal Bible became a milestone in the Russian Christian thought. It contributed tremendously to the emergence of many schools of theology, philosophy, literature, and arts. Right after the publication of the Bible in the 1860s, the first Russian evangelical Protestant groups formed. Just like the printing press made way for the Protestant Reformation in the 16th century, the publication of the first Bible in the modern Russian language led to the emergence of Bible-believing Protestants in all corners of the Russian Empire. Please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I see you all next time.